In the past few years, for those who come to XML interface, right, we identify that we are having many problems. In order to explain your guy what is the XML, many questions raised to our company. Let's say like, why I don't see this? When you XML, for example, you XML to hotel bed, and you ask, why hotel bed have 100 hotel, and on our screen have only 80 hotel. Okay, so that one thing. Second thing is, on the suppliers, you can see many hotel on each destination, but on your system, maybe half. Why is not show exactly the same as your suppliers? So that one of the area. Second area is the e-payment. We face that some of you said your customer has been charged by your bank, but no booking. So we will explain you why it happened like that and how to solve the problem. Okay, and the last we will do for Q&A, which is we open topic you can ask. We will talk mainly about our members. Alright, so I will ask Mr. Peter to start with the XML. Thank you.
Okay, good morning. Remember to submit your name, your telephone number to claim your XML. Okay, okay, good morning. As what Kuchachai said, this morning is all about, we try to explain and share what's XML mapping all about. Something very new. Please remember, I'm only the presenter, not the one who makes all the notes. I'm only the presenter. Okay, careful now. Alright, so before I start, I just want to run some simple quick housekeeping on our agenda. Unfortunately, we're going to have only a short break at 11 o'clock for those who need fresh air, alright, and toilet stops. Okay, we will start with some simple things to talk about what XML has done to our life, especially for many of you who are from the manual world, the offline world. Then we'll talk about mapping, we'll talk about e-payment, and we'll talk about how you do your XML mapping for destination and city and country. Then we have a lunch. Lunch will be on the first floor at the coffee shop when you go up on your right hand side, on your left hand side. Then we'll take the Q&A, and I will remember every one of you who asked the Q, because we give the A. Alright, and then we will tea break, and that's the end of the day. I know some of you are leaving a little bit early for your flights back home. I wish you a good journey first before you all get too busy. Okay, so I'm just going to, I think Kuchachai has already done his welcome, and I think 95% of the people in this room are all from the XML family. Alright, I think 99% actually. Alright, so it's also a good time for us to get together and talk among friends. Alright, so I'm going to start on what's XML related to travel online and what we call OTA. Alright, this specifically is done by Common 3. Okay, I'm the presenter, remember that. Alright, so what is XML? I think most of you know it stands for Extendable Markup Language. Alright, it's the X and the M and the L. And what it does is actually describes information. Alright. And what it does, it's a markup language like HTML, but HTML display, XML don't display, alright? And then it's designed to carry data, not display data, alright? And as texts are not predefined, that means you can actually define, you do that, what we call write over to define text, which is descriptive, that means we describe the text as well. Okay, so XML is very simple, just 3 words, but actually behind the scene, there's quite a lot of things happening there as well. Alright, okay. Go on, Mike, yeah. Alright. Okay, so what's the difference between now and say 30 years ago for those of you who are young like me? All right, we've been in the industry for like 30 years now. Okay, what has happened to the industry now with XML? I think first and foremost, it replaces a lot of our fax machine. Some of you remember the teletext. All right, some of you will remember the teletext. It replaces some of our manual processes as well, like taking the tariff and copying and so on and so forth. All right, and it actually allows us to conduct our business, we believe, faster and more effective if things are done orderly and correctly. All right, and it helps us to transfer data between 2 or more different systems, resulting in increase of content and product. Those days when you tell somebody you have 50,000 hotels, nobody will believe you. Alright? Even those of you who are in DMCs, you know that when you bring your tariff to see your customer, you only have like 50 hotels. It's quite impossible to bring 500 hotels for Bangkok, 300 hotels for Pattaya, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this has helped us. We believe it minimize human error in data transfer as well. Okay, but it do happen electronically as well. And okay, it helps us to increase business between 2 or more parties. Those of you who work a bit with me, you know I always use 2 not so nice phrase, but very practical phrase. One is system no brain, human with brain. Okay, so we are the people who put the brain. 2, all of you are friends and all of you are also enemies or competitor because you compete. But this time you compete based on your marketing, your other strategies, your pricing strategy, your exchange strategy. Okay? Those days, if you are from Thailand or if you are from Malaysia, when you are together, you will not display or exchange product or services between yourselves, right? You will just keep and not get involved at all, all right? But today, the world has changed. Like I always say, you compete yet you are friends, right? Okay, so it also helps you to redistribute. In other words, not everything must be 100% your product. It could be your supplier products. But when you redistribute through online, not necessarily everybody will know that it's not a product. Number 2 is because of your system inventory, a big inventory, people will be keen to connect to you because they get 20,000 hotels from you, 30,000 hotels from somebody and somebody. Okay, so this is really what XML has done to one of the key changes, I think, to the industry. Okay, so this is just a few slides that we want to share and highlight. Obviously, I'm sure most of you would already know your part of your life has changed, especially those who are in manual. And then when you have to go online, you find that it's very frustrating sometimes. A lot of things you can do offline, you cannot do online. All right? I continue. Okay, so this is the favorite subject for this morning is XML mapping. All right, I will try my best to explain the concept that I understand, that my colleagues has prepared. Okay, so why is mapping needed? Why do we need to do mapping? All right. Now it actually allows you to get the best available result if you have the bar module, because not every one of you has a bar module, from the system supplier and your local database when you put together. Okay, what's the example? Example, ABC Hotel in Bangkok, supplier 1 available at 3,000 baht, supplier 2 available at 2,950, local database 2,985. So obviously the one in red, which is available, cheapest gets displayed. Okay, so some of you who put in your own local rates sometimes will ask, how come my rates are not displayed? Alright, it's either because you do not have allotment, because allotment is also a priority of display. Okay. Now the second one, why mapping is also required. It actually allows you to display the right information in your system with the correct name and room category if applicable. Now again, many people or many system providers does XML work, but they might not go into various detail level. Like us, we spend a lot of time doing room category. Later on, you will see why that's important to us. Okay, Because if somebody understands your system display, let's say I understand how you display without room category, and if somebody supply you breakfast at $90, all I need to do is a breakfast dot $91, I get display. Because you not sort out the room category with breakfast. Deluxe room, breakfast, dot. Alright, because you not separate the room category, which is why it's very important to us. Some of you find that in some searches that you do, standard room breakfast, standard room with breakfast, standard room with English breakfast. Actually, it's all the same. Alright, but because they don't map, they don't choose the what we call the level 2, level 3 of category, the system just say it's different because the wordings are different. So you put a dot, that's it, you get displayed. Okay, so example will be, if you see this supplier, 1, display 2 hotel, the Ambassador Bangkok, and Ambassador Bangkok okay, you find that usually you find funny names, right? The Amari Watergate, Amari Gate Waternam, blah blah blah. It's the same hotel, all right. So we need to mapping on that, all right. And display 2, this hotel will be Ambassador the Bangkok. So, Michael. So what are the features of it? What are the challenges when we have to do mapping for you? Because you use our services, right? Especially when you need to buy from somebody, another party, which is not our member. Okay. The biggest challenge will be we will not be able to control your provider database, that means your other party database, because they might structure it differently. They are likely to be of a different design flow from us. Alright, so we call by certain criteria like allotment, cheapest price, room category, so on and so forth. So not every system functions the same. Of course, the more detail you call for, the more work is involved in the mapping and the XML. So we always do say that having a system is like having a headphone. We all have headphones, alright? But the headphone, same model, different application, different people, different understanding, alright? Now we